Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
3, 2, 1, 0, 0. Nice to be in orbit.
Space travel.
Hey,
Bruh. This
how'd
is
you
not,
get here?
This is not the way I imagined this.
What's
at
going
all.
on?
I'm telling you, dude, whatever just happened, I need to stop doing drugs. Listen, I've never had drugs before.
Whoa, you can't say that on YouTube.
That was the first time. I'm never doing it again.
Can't say it on YouTube. We got to cut that whole part out.
Bruh. We can bleep it.
You think I got time to bleep something?
I mean, listen.
I spent an exorbitant amount of money putting together this elaborate green screen remote setup so it looks like we actually have a studio and I don't have to see your ugly face anymore.
Well, people have been asking for us to be in person for a long time. I have no idea why. There's no benefit to this at all. I have no cough button, which is great.
The content is worse, as you can see. You all wanted us to meet up. We finally do it. And the content is worse. You know, we talked a lot on previous GadgetCasts about how we were bought by Warner Media, a great company, and they brought us tremendous amounts of sponsorships in the form of Snickers
Yes.
and Taco Bell with the Taco Pass, $10, a taco every day. Can't beat that, Taco Pass. And then they wanted us. They wanted us to do a Subway sponsorship.
Which I was okay with. But last week, as we spoke about, like, controversially, you don't like Subway. I understand why, because you're on the East Coast.
Well, there's a couple reasons I don't like Subway.
Okay.
Number one,
Yeah.
food is atrocious.
It's not atrocious.
Which could be their greatest sin, is that the food is atrocious.
Is it, though?
Number two, they are doing some things, had some connections that I don't necessarily agree with.
mean
If
with
you
Jared?
know what I mean, I don't
Jared.
want to.
You can say Jared.
I don't want to get into any legal things, but me and Subway, we lost our connection a long time ago. So I said, no way, Warner Media. No way are we doing a Subway bit. I'm not doing a sponsorship for them. So that blew everything out of the water. I got us out of that awful contract. And we have been bought out.
Yes. We have been acquired.
We have been acquired.
As you can see, we've been acquired by This Is.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit like Twix being bought by Twinkie. I don't know how that actually makes sense, but
That's an analogy I wasn't expecting. And
Right.
I don't know. I can't play off that. That's not good. So you're going to have to come up with a better bit.
it's a little bit like water being bought out by air.
Oh my God. This was a mistake. But, you know, we got to roll with it. I didn't spend anything.
Yeah, exactly. You actually got paid to come here practically
I-
by the airline, really, is what happened.
I got paid to come here by the airline. But we are live with GadgetCast.
Yes.
Should we thank Matt?
Well, we should talk about, like, what the hell's going on
Okay.
right now. Okay, first of all, obviously we're here together, but where we are is literally on the set of This Is. Matt, who is the co-host of This Is, you've seen, or co-host, I don't know, is he a host?
He was on GadgetCast.
He was on
To be
GadgetCast.
fair.
Yeah.
You should know Matt.
He's a co-host,
Yes.
right? With Austin Evans, and this is their new studio, which is amazing, fantastic. Obviously, it looks much better than what we deal with. Well, look, it depends on how you look at it. I think if you look at it with your eyes, it's definitely better. Anyway, Matt has been really cool allowing us to take this opportunity to do a GadgetCast here, but we're actually here to visit Austin Evans, and in the meantime, have visited some other people as well. So
I was here to visit Matt, to be fair.
Oh, that's true.
Austin is he's a bonus.
He's a bit of a bonus.
But I was definitely here to see Matt.
Well, ironically, that's literally what was happening because Austin isn't even here. We've been here for,
Yes.
this is our second day. Austin's not
yeah,
here.
so
Yeah.
talk about hospitality.
Yeah, it's been weird. It's been awkward. No, what was supposed to happen, he was supposed to be here. Some things happen. It's fine. We'll see Austin tomorrow. When you're listening to this, we would have already met Austin, and we'll talk about that another time. But so far, it's been kind of fun. So for those of you who don't know, actually, Greg and I met for the first time, would have been yesterday. at the
that
airport.
feels like 20 years ago. But
It
yeah,
does.
we did just meet yesterday.
And I know that a lot of people, especially on Twitter, by the way, on the last show, we said, follow us on socials if you want to know what we're talking about. All this big tease was this, our trip, meeting each other and hanging out with other YouTubers.
Which, if you follow our Twitters, like we instructed you to on the last show, you would know all this because you've seen the tweets, but I bet like 90% of you didn't do it. And look at all the things you missed out on.
Especially the audio podcast listeners who just don't want to
Yeah,
be bothered
those
with
audio
anything.
podcast listeners.
Bruh.
If
We
you
love
are-
them.
Yeah, if you're an audio podcast listener, you do have to see the setup on the channel.
Yes.
So you should go do that.
YouTube.com/GadgetCast. Make sure you're doing that at this very moment because the visual feast in which they will see.
A feast for your eyes,
Something to be
unlike
seen.
Subway, but this is a feast for your eyes. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Wearing my GadgetCast shirt, which of course
I
Greg
did
is
not wear my
course,
shirt.
which
I
is
did
terrible.
not pack any merchandise that had any sort of affiliation with GadgetCast or my main channel.
Everything else I have in my package, that was all my merch. So everything else for the rest of the week I'm gonna be wearing is my merch, and that's I'm not ashamed of that.
Can't help but notice I didn't get any of that merch.
Oh.
I hadn't considered that actually.
Ooh,
I wouldn't think you'd want to wear it.
look at- Oh.
Wow, now I feel suddenly attacked. By the way, where is the rest of our GadgetCast merch?
The rest?
Yeah, in other words, like, do we have GadgetCast merch anymore? Because remember,
We do.
most of the stuff that we have,
But we
in
need-
fairness,
Yeah.
most of the stuff we have from GadgetCast merch type stuff is actually done by the listeners. Because we had those stickers, we had the hats.
That is true.
We
yeah.
actually didn't. They were made by people who listen to the show, which I'm still amazed by. And the headphones, technically. I mean, Soundcore.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
literally
Soundcore
have
the
made
headphones.
no merch.
It's weird not wearing the headphones for this.
It
now.
really is.
I'm
Now
so
we
used to
can-
hearing me talk now. Now it's like, oh, how do I control myself? But I'll learn.
How do you control yourself, Greg?
I don't know.
So let's start with the obvious. So I think more of this show, I mean, we're not going to talk a lot about, we'll talk a little bit about tech, but let's talk a little bit about like what the heck's going on. So we met each other at the airport yesterday. What was your first impressions of me? Like
I was gonna ask you. I was be like, "What's the first impression?"
I
when you
asked first.
saw? So
I asked first.
all
so
right, I'll
you
go
must-
first.
yes,
I'll go
okay.
first.
All right.
So I'm getting off my plane. Travis says he was gonna get Dunkin' Donuts or something like
Yes,
that.
I did say that.
I've been telling Travis this since we got here. Like when you see someone on camera all the time,
Mm.
it's a little weird when you see them in person because they always look a little bit different than you expected.
Mm.
And I started walking over to Dunkin' Donuts. I saw a bald guy there, and I thought it was Travis at first. And as I got closer, I'm like, I don't think that's Travis. I'm looking right at it. That's not him. That's
No.
not him.
No.
And then I'm panicking my phone. I'm like, where are you? I'm like half expecting this guy to like look up, be like, right here. But then I see Travis sauntering over from across the airport. I don't know why he left the Dunkin' Donuts. That's where he said he was going to be. But I saw Travis and I'm like, I knew to be prepared that you were taller in person. Because you always say people think I'm shorter than I
Right.
am. So I was mentally prepared. I'm like, Travis, he's a tall guy. He's a tall guy. I got to get that in my head.
All right.
He's going to be taller than me.
Yeah.
So I saw Travis, and he was taller than me. I was like, okay, the
rumor is
legends,
true.
the legends are true.
It's true.
So I saw Travis, and it was weird because I feel like, you don't meet someone, and then you meet them in person, and I felt like there was going to have to be some sort of custom, like, oh, I'm Greg kind of thing. But it
we
really
already know that, yeah.
wasn't. I just started like
Right.
talking to Travis like I've always talked to him on
Yeah.
GadgetCast, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like we just like picked up like that. Like,
Yep.
and I was like, oh, it was almost like there wasn't a first impression because I already knew who I was talking to. So the first impression was already there.
Yeah.
The only thing that was like a first impression was like a physical appearance. And
Yeah.
I got to say, Travis pretty good looking in person.
Handsome, totally.
And I think he will say the same for me. Like,
Probably, maybe.
He saw me and thought, supermodel. Oh, that's Greg.
That's that hair. That's the hair that was cut.
That's what
thankfully.
everyone says. The
I'll
hair
tell you
is-
that
the
hair
is good.
was atrocious for a while there. That little, I don't know what you were doing. Anyway,
Well, people liked it.
My
People liked
side
it.
of
People said I was cute.
Some
My mom said I was very cute.
There you go. That's the accurate statement. Okay, so for me, I actually landed a little bit before you, right? And I expected you to come down a lot earlier than you did. I guess you were sitting on the tarmac for longer.
Yes. Well, we don't have to go into the nitty gritty of the tarmac
He
situation.
was back in the peasant seats too, so he had to wait for a long time to get off the actual. Of course, I only fly first class, so I was off very fast.
I don't have that kind of money.
Just the fastest. Anyway,
I
as he
lost all
came,
the sponsorships.
I was waiting for him by the baggage, like I said I would. I had mentioned that I went to Dunkin' Donuts. I said I would be by the baggage, so I waited by the baggage. He went over to Dunkin' Donuts. I didn't. I was just paying attention to my phone, and then all of a sudden you texted. So I walked over, and at first I wasn't sure it was you. Then I think if maybe you didn't wave, but you certainly, was kind of there. And I'm like, oh, that's Greg. Okay, cool. And much like you said, I mean, we've had a lot of conversations off of GadgetCast too, so I think we're kind of like friends or whatever, or something like that. It just kind of, and I've met a lot of people that I have seen online first, so I'm totally used to it. So I wasn't really as it wasn't as weird for me as it may be for some people, I think.
Yeah. No, definitely. It just felt like I knew you.
Yeah.
We just got talking right away about same old stuff kind of thing, and just catching up and how was your flight, all that.
And trying to figure
stuff.
out how the heck to get out of LAX, which is a trash heap of an airport. I hate it.
Yeah, that was quite a situation. They got to figure that out.
They won't. They'll never. I hate flying in LAX. And by the way, only reason I flew in LAX is because of you. And I think I told you.
Yes.
This. Yeah, because I was like, well, if you're gonna have to ride an hour to get to where we were going, which we'll talk.
In
about
hindsight, I'm glad you did, because at first I was like, I got this. I'll Uber. I got this. I wouldn't have known that you couldn't have gotten Uber there. I would have been stranded. I would have been like, what do I do? I guess I go home.
So if you don't know, a couple of years ago, which I knew about this because I've come to LA a couple times, there were like some type of law passed where you can't have like an Uber to the airport. Is that right, Matt? Something like that?
It was more just like a congestion thing. So
Yeah.
they moved the lot.
It's way out.
Yeah, you have to take a shuttle. You could walk, but like you just got off the plane, you got your baggage. A lot of people just take a shuttle.
Yeah, so
That's what we do.
You literally have to take a shuttle to where you can get the Uber. For a lot of airports, you just take your thing, but you have to go far away. So anyway, I heard about this, and when we got over there, Greg, we went over there and did that. And then we took the Uber, which is about an hour or so to, why do I want to keep calling this place Palamento? Why do I keep wanting to call it this? What is this place called?
Do we reveal what this place is called?
No,
Oh.
not where we were currently are.
Elemento.
Yeah, where is it that we're staying? It's what is that place called, Matt?
California.
No, I know that, but where's the place? It's
I'm trying not
San Bernardino. What is the place called?
to tell where we are.
I forget what it is.
I don't think
anyway,
we should tell them where we are.
Right,
I mean,
what's
that's,
the difference? Everyone knows. Anyway, we're
got-
wherever we are
you
in
know.
California, right? So we're outside of LA, and
That's a good term, outside of LA.
Yeah, we're outside of LA.
I like that.
And we came here to mostly hang out with Austin, but then also meet up with some of our friends like Jonathan Morrison, who is someone that we both had met back in 2018, and then some other people. So let's first talk about that first night, which was last night, which seems like 2 nights ago, weirdly.
Yeah.
It does seem like that. It seems like a long time ago. So Matt was cool. We've been hanging out with Matt for a long time. Love Matt. And we decided to go over and see Jomo, Jonathan Morrison, who, if you don't know, is intertwined in both of our pasts. We both were
It's true.
came out here to Jomo and had a really great conversation with Joe. It was really fun. It was really cool to have an environment where we sat down and just had real talk with Jonathan and Matt and the other guy named Travis, which made it a little confusing.
That was confusing.
Yeah.
Jonathan was like saying Travis, and I was like,
Yeah.
what Travis?
Yeah.
What Travis was helpful?
Right.
Oh, it was his
the
Travis.
other Travis,
The-
yes,
yeah,
yeah.
it couldn't be my Travis.
Which was devastating for me because he kept going, oh yeah, Travis was everything.
Travis
And I
was
like,
great.
Yeah, I'm
And I
like,
was
yeah.
Like,
Oh.
wow, I didn't know John and Travis were like that.
No,
And
I
then
didn't either.
Once the illusion, I felt a little bit more confident after that. I was like, oh, okay.
I was disappointed, but it's fine.
I don't gotta be upstage.
Great conversation with John Love. We're supposed to maybe potentially see him again. Hopefully we will before we leave. But it's always great to see John. And I feel like someone I've always called him an artist. I feel like he's an artist,
Yeah.
and he's the type of guy that I think like after you go through a couple months or years on tech YouTube, like you should meet because you start to see. Without meeting someone like Jonathan, a lot of times it feels very robotic and very zeros and ones and very kind of strategic and all this other stuff. But then you meet someone like Jonathan who's very much into the art of video making, and it changes your perspective. I know that something I've said, and I think we were kind of familiar, you said the same thing back in 2018 when we left. We felt very inspired by being out here. And that was another reason to come out here was to feel inspired. And Jonathan, once again, sitting with him, I felt kind of re-inspired.
Yeah, it's hard not to walk away from a lot of these things, not feeling some sort of inspiration, because I think especially for me and you, we're very isolated where we are back home,
Yep.
to the point where most of my conversations usually occur online with other people, but it's very different when you're in the room with someone and you're actually like vibing with them. And that was definitely the situation that we had yesterday. And it was just really cool to kind of hang out. Sometimes I know like there's like pressure with like creators to do some sort of collaboration every time you meet up. But sometimes, and we've been talking about this a lot, sometimes it's cool just kind of sit back a little bit, actually talk, get to know people, and understand where they're coming from. And I think that can actually add a lot of value to your own content rather than forcing in and going in and be like, let's shoot a video together because I need to get this collaboration. I need to grow at all costs. It's nice to take a step back, not shoot a video. Because last time I was here, I shot a video, and it's a totally different feeling coming here. Now, I don't know how it is for you. Yeah. The last time I was here, again, 2018, totally different time period for me. I wasn't doing YouTube full time. I think I was like under 10,000 subscribers. And like coming here now, what am I, like 200,000 something? I don't know. It feels different because back then I had zero confidence in myself. So when I was like talking to John back then, I was just like, this is like a one-time thing. I'm never going to see this guy again. And it's going to, you know, I like him, but it's like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to grow to any significant standing or prominence in YouTube. And I was right about that. I have not grown in any significant standing or prominence in YouTube in all these years. And Jonathan's still looking at me like, who is this guy? That's literally what he said to me when he saw me. He knew Travis, but he's like, who is this guy? No, I'm just kidding. No, but I felt a lot more confident and stuff like that. And I felt like I understood the conversation way more back then, where I had no clue what I was doing. I still have no clue what I'm doing, but a little bit more. You know, I got the first mystery down.
Yeah, I think so. To jump off that, that's really an important thing that you and I recently talked about was, you know, because we're going to talk about meeting iJustine here in a little bit, and then we're going to see Austin tomorrow, which is the one person out of all the people we're meeting. I'm actually going to shoot some video footage, but even that's not going to be really about me. Let's rewind how we're here and why we're here in the first place, which might help answer some of this. Like, why are we here? So back in October,
why are we here? Why, you know, let's get philosophical. Why are we here? Why don't you answer? There's a lot of people in these trying times wondering, why are they here?
This is
Travis,
what I deal with.
You're going to give them what they've always wanted to hear, and I can't wait to hear it.
Oh, Greg. Yes. Why did I bring Greg with me? That's a great question, Greg.
He's really questioning it now.
I'm questioning that right now. No. Back in October or November, you know, I really felt like 2022 was going to have to be something creatively different for me. Like I needed some type of inspiration. And it occurred to me that, you know, I could come out to, you know, this area and hopefully feel what I felt back in 2018. Now, in October, November time period, when I decided to do this, I actually talked to Greg after a GadgetCast, and I said, you know, I'm going to do this thing. You know, maybe you can come if you want to come. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't think Greg would want to come. I just figured he wouldn't want to go anywhere. I just assumed he wouldn't. But I asked him, I wanted to ask him because I thought it'd be a great opportunity for both of us. Now, the world was in a slightly different place then. Of course, we can talk about traveling in a pandemic because that's where literally, we're in this, right? And back then, when I scheduled all the things and paid for my flight and all the things, things were looking like more reasonable than they do right now as we are sitting here in California. Like, if this was going on when we were talking about it, we wouldn't be talking.
There would be zero chance I would be here.
We wouldn't be here.
Honestly.
I think we got to a point where we were on a, you know, go, no go, even like a couple of days before. And, you know, that was a hard choice because I spend a lot of time at home. I don't go anywhere. I don't really do anything. I stay very safe. And and listen, California is really, I mean, you can smell the COVID in the air. It really smells it. And I'll be honest, like, it was one of those things like, do I go? The reason I went is because I knew the people we would be surrounded with are people that are generally on the same side of the issue that I am. And I feel like if there is anyone to be safe around, it would be most of these people. Like Matt, I think is super cool. And I think he's going to understand that, like, we're coming in and he's going to make sure we're cool. I knew that Jonathan feels the same way about this stuff. We were going to see Rettinger. I knew he felt the same way. Justine, I feel safe around the few people that we will be interacting with. Although we do wear masks 99% of the time. The only reason we're not doing it right now is because we're doing the podcast. Yeah, I mean, we're both vaccinated and boosted, all that stuff. But it is a risk. And the elephant in the room is like this. Maybe we should have waited. But I feel like also while I will go back into my hovel of not going anywhere again and go back into my room and probably not leave again for another 6 months, I am so glad to be here just for the last day and a half already, and we still have another day and a half to go. The experiences we've had with Jonathan and Justine and Matt have already made it like it was worth for me coming. Do you feel the same way currently?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. We were talking a lot about it, and I already feel like I'm glad I came, which is, I definitely was questioning like coming here, and I was like, well, part of the reason I'm here is because I was really thinking of Travis. I knew how bad he wanted to go, and I was I can't call out of this. How do I get out of this? I'm wondering. How do I get out of this situation?
Back out of this?
And but no, everything has been pretty good. Honestly, the travel and stuff went a lot better than I expected. My plane was like empty, so I was very happy with everything so far. We'll see on the way back how that goes.
Right.
But so far, everything's been pretty safe.
Yeah. And our interactions and stuff. We're wearing N95s. And all, we're trying to do the best we can. I think with anything, like we were talking to Justine today, which we'll talk a little bit about that. Even her sister got sick, and they still have no idea how she got COVID. Like they are super safe over there, and she still doesn't know how she got sick. But let's talk about today. So Justine, we got to meet Justine today. That was a bonus. Going into this, the only people we thought we were going to meet would be Rettinger, Morrison, and Austin. That was it. We thought that would be it. I shot a DM to Justine a week or so before we came, thinking she would not look at it because she hadn't looked at her DM from me for over a year. So I had sent her a DM a year ago, and she hadn't looked at it. I don't even know why.
As people do
True.
when Travis DMs them.
True.
I got a backlog.
I barely DM people.
Sometimes I wake up and I see like 50. I'm like, what's going on?
I rarely DM people, but I figured we're going to be out there. I'll say hi. Hey, because remember, Justine was on GadgetCast a year ago to the day yesterday.
Oh, really?
I forgot to mention that. She was on GadgetCast a year ago to the day yesterday. And I should have mentioned that to her today. And the thing is, I was like, I'll just throw it out there. And then I forgot about it. And then a couple of days later, all of a sudden there's a, hey, you guys are coming. That'd be great. We meet up. I'm like, oh, crap. This might happen. But again, I DM'd a couple things, and then I asked her one question. How do I get in touch with you when we get there? Did I just DM you? She didn't read it. So I'm like, okay, well, we're going to go here. We're just going to assume we're not going to see Justine. That's fine. We have plenty of stuff planned. It's going to be great. We get here. I send a DM like, as we land, we're here, whatever. And I, again, don't expect anything. And then she replies, and we end up going today. Now, meeting Justine was great. I think I said this on the last GadgetCast that she was on, that she was so easy to work with. And I always felt like just watching her content, she felt genuine. Meeting someone, sometimes they say, don't meet your heroes. You should absolutely meet Justine because she's as genuine as you would assume she is. We got to see a lot. She showed us a lot. She spent like 3 hours with us, which is more than I would have ever expected from anybody. And really let us into personal cool things and just spent time and vibed and showed us where she is and the places to eat and just cool stuff. Like was a friendly person to people that she only knows from a couple of tweets and a couple of videos. Like she collabed with me and then Gadget. That's it. And spent a lot more time than I would have with someone who came to my city. Like I wouldn't have done all that. I probably wouldn't have done that.
I don't want to get political here.
Oh, no.
I don't want to get political here.
All right, then don't.
I will say, hey, everything Travis said was true.
All right.
I'm not getting political. This is a cool thing. It's a cool thing that we discovered right before we did the show. Justine took me to an ice cream place. That's where the president gets his ice cream. So I feel presidential. And, I've teased my presidential run before. I found out you do have to be over a certain age to run for president.
That's true.
I think that's undemocratic. So I canceled my campaign last time. But,
maybe.
in about, I'm pretty young, right? Maybe about like 15 years, I think I got the mantle to run.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
And, in 15 years, I could be
15 years?
president.
Wait a minute.
But I got the same ice cream as the president, so I'm already on.
That's true.
I'm ready to track. But that was thanks to Justine. So.
Minutes before we went live on this, we found out you did eat it. I don't know how you even found that. What were you looking for?
I was just on Twitter and I just see ice cream and I'm like, that looks so familiar. And I don't want to get political, but there was a president. You can guess which president it was.
Very political.
Could have been Grover Cleveland. Could have been George Washington. Could have been Lincoln.
Yes.
Noted ice cream fan.
The thing is, that ice cream was good. You liked it. You really enjoyed it.
I think it might have been the best ice cream I've ever had in my life, and that was weird.
We've also talked more seriously about starting the food podcast. We've talked about this in the last couple of weeks. I feel like it's going to happen. I really do. So I'm holding out hope and I think Matt would be amazing to be a part of that because we talked a lot about food with Matt. That's like 80% of our conversations seems to be we all talk about food.
I like food, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Nothing wrong with it. I'm not hating.
Food is a lifestyle, okay?
It really is. It really is.
I'm a foodie. Are you a foodie?
I'm a big foodie. That's why I'm like 30, 40, 80 pounds overweight easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
I got a little extra.
Yeah. So Justine was great. She's been incredibly supportive and super genuine in life. So it's been a really, that right there was like the cherry on top of a thing that's not even done yet. So this, of course, now doing the GadgetCast here, we've always talked about wanting to do at least one episode in person or something and be kind of cool. Are we jumping the shark right now? Is this jumping the shark?
You keep saying that. Will you stop saying that? I don't like when you say that.
This is the greatest. Look, we got together. We finally hung out.
If you manifest something into the universe, it could happen. So I don't know why you keep going down this path.
Look at this video production. Look at how good this looks.
It's a little bit better.
I know. It's fantastic, bro.
It's a little better.
It's fantastic.
I don't want to undersell what we do. It's a little better, okay?
I think there's actually 3 camera angles. We're only doing the one because I ain't trying to deal with the big file size.
I would have dealt with the big file.
I think the thing looks amazing. It looks ridiculous. So I'm super excited that like we have the opportunity to do this and do it in person. And so as we're filming this, we have another day and a half before we actually kind of leave. Today, we don't know what's going to happen the rest of today. We'll definitely hang out with Matt. And then tomorrow is this big, quote, surprise for Austin as we take him to meet Donut Media, which is a big YouTube car channel. I'm really excited about that. I will be actually taking advantage of that and making some type of video.
I got to be honest. I didn't know what Donut Media was.
Well, you got to look it up.
And you said donuts, so I thought we were going to be eating donuts with Austin. When I found out it was just cars, I got a little bit disappointed. I'm not that into cars. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do there.
I'm not either, but it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun just to see.
Do you think they'll have donuts?
You know, it's a good question. I should ask. I should definitely ask.
I mean, they must like donuts.
I don't understand the name behind Donut Media. Like, I know the guys over there. I've known them for a long time, but I've never asked that question. Like, why is it Donut Media?
They gotta love donuts. Like,
I hope they have donuts. Otherwise, I'm going to.
Like, I would name my thing like Pizza Media.
Media.
Pizza Media. Taco Media.
You don't like the tacos you had earlier, didn't they?
No, I like the tacos.
They just didn't like your stomach, is what it is.
We don't have to get personal. I like the tacos.
No,
Thank you,
we're not
Justine.
gonna get political here.
I
about
like
food.
the tacos, Justine. They were delicious.
They actually were really good.
They were good. My
where
stomach was.
Back to the point of to have the opportunity to have done content with Justine, especially, and then Jonathan last night. The opportunities presented themselves, but I think it would have been kind of fun. We talked about this on the ride home. The only person that I have set that I want to do any type of content with or whatever is Austin, only because of the type of thing we're doing. Like I actually came here to watch a mystery tech, but because of the scheduling, I won't be able to. Well, I would be able to do that, but I decided to sacrifice my enjoyment for something that I think is cooler from a content perspective, which is to have Austin and Donut Media kind of together and doing this cool thing, which I think is dope. I think it's dope. I'm super excited to see, and I hope he's as excited once it happens. So the point is, like, we had these, quote, opportunities with these great big YouTubers and stuff like that to do additional content. And other than this podcast and perhaps that, that's all we're doing. And, some might say it's a missed opportunity, but I think, like, we've spent time growing friendships and relationships with people, which to me are always more important. And then maybe if we get a chance to come back, we'll do something even cooler content-wise. But I really appreciate like the friendships and stuff that I think we're making here.
Yeah.
You have a hot take on this?
No. I just think you're, as the famous Willie Doo would say, I think you're making a lot of assumptions there.
I am. Hopefully they're right.
If the people like you,
it's possible none of them do, and they're just really good actors and actresses.
Yeah. Matt's
legitimate.
playing a shining role in all.
Oh, one of us has a hashtag murder Matt.
I don't know anything about that.
I think I'm a pretty good host.
There's some things you might hear about me in maybe the next couple of weeks.
In an investigation.
They are Lies. Lies. If you hear anything bad about this guy,
It's fake news.
I didn't want to say that word. I'm not saying that word. I just want to say it's not the truth.
It's not the truth. Well, I was there, and it's the truth. But
It's
anyway,
not the truth.
It depends on how you look at it.
All right. No, the friendships and stuff that that was gonna sound lame. The friendships we forged were magical. No, it's
Were you really going to say that?
I don't know what I was
That's
gonna say.
terrible. That's like the most made-up sounding thing I've...
We're gonna cut this part out.
Yeah, okay.
No, the friendship and all that stuff, all the meeting people, it really is something special. And it's something I don't get to do that often, meeting new people. So I do like it a lot. It's fun.
Yeah, I know. Listen, at the end of the day, someone might go, okay, why are you listening to GadgetCast about tech? Well, this isn't that episode. This episode is more about like us, the Travis and Greg. And I'll say that Greg has been a really good friend over the last couple of months, even a year or so. The first 3 years he wasn't, but whatever. No, actually, I'm joking. We've known each other like how long? It's been 3 years, right? No, basically?
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
Well, I mean, we've known
Your clock's
GadgetCast
better than mine, I think.
Well, so we're in season 4. We've talked about this. We're in season 4, but it's really like 3 years. Anyway, regardless, Greg's been there for me when I've needed things, and he's just a really great friend. And I'm super happy to have actually met you and hanging out with you is about what I thought it would be.
What's that?
And
mean?
I'll just leave it at
What's
that.
that mean? Is that
I'll
good
just
or
leave
bad?
it at that. It's
Is
about
that
what I
good or
thought
bad?
it would be.
I want to know.
It's just what it is. I assumed it would be like this, and it's exactly like this.
So he thinks it's the greatest because this guy has wanted to
Sure.
meet me for a long time, and he's wanted to hang out with me, and he's now got to see the brain in action, how everything works.
I have actually. That's true. That
He
part's
knows the inner workings of me and my success. But this guy, he's wearing a Cancel Greg shirt.
true. That is true. I'm wearing the Cancel Greg shirt. Yes.
Right here. It's a little insulting.
But I mean, that's how this whole thing started.
It's a little insulting. I gotta be honest. It's a little.
I've been wearing it all day too. That's what's great.
It is. Yeah,
all day.
We met some people, and I don't think they knew who I was. That's okay. I'm not gonna put them on the spot. That's fine that they didn't know who I was. I don't have an ego or anything like that. But Travis wearing his Cancel Greg shirt, and they're just like, "Oh, Cancel Greg. Huh. Oh, you're Greg. Hi. Yeah, you're Greg.
It worked.
Yeah."
It was worth all the money that I didn't spend.
They were probably thinking like, who's Greg? What did he do? What kind of horrible thing did this Greg do? And I just go, "Hi, I'm Greg." And they're probably like, "That's the monster.
guy.
There he is."
Cancel him immediately. Life and death.
I didn't take the Subway sponsorship, so I deserve some credit for
I kind of wish we did. I kind of wish we did.
No,
Yeah.
no, there's more important things than money.
I don't know if that's true, but I will say this. One thing that I'm super happy about is that we did this, and I'm these memories that we're currently making, we've made already, and we'll make tomorrow, will be things that I will likely cherish for a very long time, much the same way I did in 2018. So, thank you for taking a risk and coming out here with me, and then doing the show and just making it fun. One of the things we talked about when we created GadgetCast was that we want to do something that wasn't like another job or another thing. We just wanted to be fun and easy and something cool that we don't have to worry about. We just throw it out there. We're not really trying to get a whole bunch of listens or views or downloads, which is obvious. But we're just having fun with it. And the people that have been coming along have loved it, and they're enjoying the time, and we're seeing great comments from people that watch us all the time. And I hope that something like this is a special little surprise for you guys and gals that watch the show too, because for me, it was cool. It's about meeting a friend in real life. And for you, it might be like, oh, this is kind of dope. Travis and Greg in one place at one time. Will probably never happen again for good reason.
They wanted to hear all about the latest iPhone 13 with the hole punch pill thing. And they tuned in. They got all this stuff about iJustine and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, but I do have to give Travis credit. He set everything up. I didn't do a lick of work. It was like having like a personal assistant do everything for me. All of a sudden I'm doing nothing. And all of a sudden I'm sitting in a room with iJustine, and it's
true.
like I'm just like looking around like, oh, I didn't have to do anything.
That
and
is true.
I'm all benefiting from it. So
That is actually true.
I feel like I'm gonna eventually have to make it up to Travis somehow. I'm gonna get him to meet someone even. I can't top that though.
Well, I mean, I already surprised you with iJustine in the first place.
Yeah, I can't top this.
And then who else did I bring on the
better?
show? Who
Who's
did you
going
bring
better?
on the show so far? Have I brought in every single guest? No, you brought in somebody,
No.
right?
I think I can name a few. Hold on. I brought Renee Ritchie.
Oh, you did?
Right.
Oh, did you?
I reached out to him first. Yeah. Remember? I did because remember he had like that scheduling. He got the wrong time zones and he didn't make it.
Yeah.
And you blame me like you messed this
Yeah,
up. You didn't get him.
yeah.
I got Renee. I got Luke Miani. Nice guy.
Did you or did I? Because
Luke Miani.
I thought I did.
I got you.
I thought I did.
Luke, I got you. Don't
Anyway,
lie. Don't
yes,
lie.
indeed. No, listen, it's a team effort. And I mean, because Greg actually does all the production stuff as far as uploading it. So if a GadgetCast doesn't go up on time, it's Greg. Just send an email to Greg. It's not me. That's the part I don't.
Don't send an email. Please don't send any emails.
Leave him a comment
Please
in his
don't.
latest video, whatever that video happens to be about. Leave him a comment. Say, where's the podcast, Greg?
Do leave a comment. That is engagement, and that is good for me.
Nice. And a thumbs up.
Do a thumbs up too, and watch the whole thing.
You should.
Retention is important.
It's up to you if you want to watch the whole thing.
I
think
do.
that's-
I do want to get back before I miss
Yeah.
the point because I do like what you're saying about GadgetCast. This was always kind of like a fun thing for us, something that would be a little bit de-stressing from the normal ins and outs of running a channel and running about the views and all the click-through rates and all the retention and all that stuff. That was actually the original goal of GadgetCast. We had like so much on our mind that it's like, if I put this on my channel, it would bomb. And I
Right.
kind of just want to talk about it. If people find it interesting too, that's great. But honestly, in the beginning, we had such a small audience back then. We had literally no one at that point. And we built it up into something, I think, a little bit respectable. Yeah. But beyond that, it's just kind of like this fun thing for us to kind of do and connect with you guys, which I always love. I love the GadgetCast audience. I don't care how big it is.
Agree,
like every live stream we do, every comments we get, all the reviews you guys left us, like if it's like a niche show forever that just this select group enjoys and never grows into anything huge, which we never expected it to begin with.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with that because it's so cliche, but it's like people stress out about algorithms and all this other baloney all the time that it's kind of nice to just be a little bit organic sometimes, not feel pressured to like, if this GadgetCast episode doesn't get 500,000 listens, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah.
So I like that.
100% true. And the thing is that we've seen growth and we've seen plateaus. And while you're like, I kind of wish GadgetCast always felt like our baby or something. Like we had some type of baby together. I don't know how that makes sense, but it always felt like that.
Matt off screen just gave like the biggest cringe of
know,
like,
right? But it was because here's the thing. Let's be honest. Like we actually both admitted that
I'm getting red.
that we would rather both be recognized for GadgetCast than our own channels. Like that would be dope.
I would rather not be recognized.
At all, actually. That's
Yes.
true. He does not want to
If
be
you see
recognized.
me and you go, is that Greg?
It probably isn't.
It probably isn't because I didn't leave the house. But
Exactly.
don't even come up to me.
Don't do that. I don't know, Craig. Is there anything else we want to talk about, or is this kind of a cool little spot to go do other things? I mean, this was great. I love this. Thanks again to Matt for being an incredible host. First of all, because he's been squiring us around everywhere and then taking care of us, and then letting us use the studio here, which is freaking beautiful.
I like how most people, this isn't about Matt. I like Matt. No, I just had a thought I want to get out. Most people, when they would get the opportunity to film at a great set like this, Matt, kudos to you. I think Matt set it up all by himself.
It's incredible.
100% credit to Matt. If you had an opportunity to film here, I think most people would plan some sort of special episode full of content. And we did a behind the scenes episode, which is quite different. You know, usually behind the scenes is low quality, but we went all out for a little behind the scenes of GadgetCast and the inner workings of our personal life and how great our life is.
Our life is fantastic. Can't you tell?
And maybe your life
isn't
as good as mine.
It probably isn't, if we're being honest. It's definitely not the same. Whether or not it's better is a different story.
It's probably better.
It might be.
It's
Do you
probably better.
have friends? If you have friends with an S,
If you have plural friends,
then it might be better.
if you have 1, 2, 3 friends, you're living a better life than I am.
There you go. And by the way, I still
If
think
you don't spend 3 hours staring at a blank wall, wondering what you're going to do with the rest of your day, you're living a better life than me.
that's insane to think about. It's probably true.
Yeah. If you're making $20,000 a year, that's more than I get. I'm living on $19,53,000
Don't believe that.
plus residuals.
The residuals are much bigger than that. Then your math is terrible.
This is fake leather for the jacket.
I was going to ask because it matches your phone case, which I thought was kind of weird.
Yeah.
For those of you watching GadgetCast, watch this right now as he pulls out his phone and it somehow
It's a little
matches,
dirty. I gotta make sure not.
basically matches his jacket. Both the
No,
leather.
that color is
it's slightly
all
off.
That
but it's
color is
still-
all
but it's
off.
still
You
like
are
leather.
such a liar.
But they're both
It is
leather.
brownish.
If you want to see true matching leather, go ahead and look at that coaster you got.
Oh, yeah. Boom. The coaster basically matches your jacket. Well, I mean, more or less.
I matched it to the chair.
Oh. The coaster matches the chair. Dang.
That didn't match that well. I don't know.
I don't know. It's pretty good.
I don't know. He's giving himself way
It's
too
a
much
little
credit.
off, but it's
it's
kinda-
a total different shade. This is the match.
That's for the YouTube viewers. The audio listeners have no idea what the hell's going on.
What are
right
these for? I've wondered
now.
this.
The zippers? Yeah. It's
What's
so that
this?
you can put boxing gloves on.
Is that really it?
I really can't.
These actual gloves.
Yeah.
You spoke with authority of knowing what the. Is it to like do this?
Yeah, it's to roll your arms.
It's
Again,
kind of like a.
for the audio listeners, they have no idea what's
It's
going on.
kind of like a bad look. I don't.
You really need to be on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/GadgetCast.
This is a bad. Oh, jeez, I don't even want to do that for a second. I always wondered what these are, so it
Yeah.
was bugging me the whole trip. I'm like, what is this for?
Basically, like that's what you just did is what they're for. You roll up your sleeves.
Hmm.
So they have zippers on his sleeves is what he was talking about for those of you who are listening. And don't
That's
know
fine.
what's
I told him
going
to
on.
watch the video.
Yeah, you should just watch the video. Okay, well, listen, that's enough.
We're not gonna talk one bit of tech. You
Okay,
wanna-
let's talk one bit.
one bit of tech.
One bit of tech.
Let's do it.
Okay, what?
Okay.
We
What is the one tech story?
Well, we already
What's
did.
all out there?
We already did the Xbox Activision thing last.
We did
time.
that.
Yes, we did
Uh-huh.
that. Mhm. Samsung is now announcing the S22 Ultra and S22.
No one
series on
cares about
February-
that.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
And Apple has things that they sell online. I don't know. Matt, what's the story?
Matt, give us a story. We're gonna talk about it just for you. What
Just
do,
for
what do you want to know?
It's the Matt request special.
This is a bigger topic that I want
Oh.
to talk about maybe later.
Oh.
A full episode somewhere.
I need to
Okay.
hear this.
I'm bored as hell of tech.
Now here's the
Whoa,
irony.
whoa, whoa,
Here's the
whoa,
irony.
whoa,
Matt
whoa.
just said if you didn't hear him, he's bored of hell of tech.
Whoa,
and
whoa,
who
whoa,
else
whoa,
said that to us today?
No one.
Someone said that to us today. I won't say
I
her
don't
name.
think anyone said that to
I
us
won't
today.
I won't say her name.
She did not say that.
No. Someone said it to us today. And we kind of agree.
I'm not bored of tech. These are all entitled, privileged people. They get the latest phones, the latest Xboxes, the latest cameras, the latest computers. These guys are living high-style lives. I still get excited. All the phones I get, I love getting the latest iPhone. Nothing brings me more
iPhone you got
joy.
there?
13 Pro,
Okay.
not Max.
Oh, no, just
I saved $100. Okay. And I didn't even get the 1 terabyte version. I'm not shooting ProRes on the iPhone.
Oh, yeah,
Shooting ProRes on the iPhone.
Come on. What are you doing, Matt?
You know, I got a Series 7 Apple Watch. It's got a bigger display.
Yeah, fine.
only a 6 over here.
Oh,
Hey.
he's got the 6.
He's got the
I might as well
peasant.
be living out of a cardboard box.
Yeah.
Matt lives in out of a cardboard
You're
box.
shooting
apparently.
ProRes, but can you even see the time on that tiny little display?
It's roast time.
We're looking at the biggest clock I've ever seen in front of us. I think that's because he doesn't got the Series 7 with the large display to keep track of this thing.
I like how no one's going to get that right.
I know,
They're
right?
never going to see the other.
That's typical GadgetCast. Like, what is going on
That's
now?
that's what we in the biz call an inside joke.
Yes. Very inside. 3 people who listen to this are going to know what it's about. And they're all right here. Okay, Greg. Well, that was a good... We'll come back to that another time. Actually, Matt will come back on, especially when we start the fast food cast.
I do have to.
We need to do that.
I do have to mention one thing.
Okay.
I will probably do another GadgetCast one day.
All right,
Live.
that's good. That's great.
Another live one day.
You mean in person?
In person.
Really?
He said this would never happen again.
Oh, wow.
I think it will happen again.
that is that's how you have to title this podcast, like surprise announcement or something like that.
Yes.
Greg at
So
the
why don't
very
you
end.
take us out?
Yeah, okay.
You usually do that.
Yep.
I'll make a very important phone call. So I'm busy.
Oh, that makes me worried.
I got to call someone.
Okay. Who are you calling? Who are you going to call?
Just take us out.
Okay. So, as always, this is GadgetCast. He's Greg. I'm Travis. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, the ice cream was good. The ice cream was good, Mr. President.
And this is GadgetCast.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see you next time.
Butternut. Absolutely.
Say space travel.